second. Hello everyone. We are going to learn about input and loops today. I'm here joined by my son,
Hello.
David, who who always wanted to be a YouTuber. Since we're putting these up on YouTube, I figured I'd give him his first YouTuber experience here. Do you have anything else to add?
Like, so far, this is pretty cool being on YouTube for my first time.
Yeah, my son does not know a lot of programming yet, but we are making a video game together, right?
Yeah.
And he said, but I promised him by the age of 10 we'll finish it. So right now you're
8.
yeah. So look in 2 years, look for our game together. But
Yeah.
as a side, so anyways, let's get back to it. um, so I'm going to show you the input first, and then we're going to go and do the loops second. The input, as I just realized, is no longer takes this shape, but let me explain it first. Remember, when I use the greater than or less than symbols, that means I'm using pseudocode here. So when I say variable, that's whatever your variable you want to call. And then you, to get input, all you do is grab it from the command line by putting an equal sign. Now, the old school way was doing raw input, and I think it still works with 2.0 Python. But the 3-point people are going to not want to use that. Instead, we're going to use the word input. My son says yes. So the next step is that just because you have input, you still should, prompt the user for it. So you have to put a small, and I put this in quotes, meaning that it's going to be a string literal, some type of prompt that asks them for what they want. So this is kind of the shape, and I should probably take the raw input out, but this is the shape of what everyone will look like, and this is an example of one. So we have name, input, what is your name? And then it'll take whatever you type in and put it in there, and when I put a print in here just for the sake of verifying. So I am going to hit run. What is your name? Go ahead, tell them.
David.
David. And there it goes. It prints out David in the piece. So and likewise we can do a concatenation. We could say hello, and remember, we're going to use can use single quotes or double quotes, but since I already used double quotes in the top, I'm going to use double quotes here. Hello, and then concatenate it. And you might want to put a space there. And what the heck, we'll even put an exclamation point in. So run it again. I'm going to type in David. And there's hello, David. So everything works and is good. So now what I'd like to do is move on to loops and maybe put something inside of a loop. And in fact, you all have seen loops before because we've done lists. And if you don't remember what a list is, I'm going to call this dinner party.
It's like the computer's talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to set this list up as dinner party as we're going to let's go with who should we invite to our dinner party?
Julie.
Okay, well, I put my mom down there first, and then Julie, his aunt, and then anyone else?
Rick.
Rick, his uncle, and do you want to invite a friend? Let's invite one friend.
Alberto.
Alberto, oh, nice choice. Okay, so we have 4 names in here, and let's say we want to put another one in there. If you guys remember, we create a for and then a temporary variable like p or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it DP for dinner party in dinner party. Go ahead and tab that out to get that. And then remember the colon. So this won't run correctly because we have an indented. So make sure you tab both of these guys in here. So now what's happening here is what this would do is this would run how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times and ask you that question over and over again, which is which is cool, but in some ways it's kind of useless, right? Because we're not really putting any new data in. So let's say these are the people who we know are coming to the dinner party, and then online we ask 4 more people, 4 more of our friends, but let's say we asked like a list of like 20 people, and we just said we only have room for 8, sadly. Yeah. So what we want to do is just say we'll take 4 more people. Now you could do this in a for statement, but since you guys are used to it, I'm going to let you guys worry about that later. Well, I don't know. You guys can try. You guys not. What instead I'm going to do, and if you haven't seen the videos yet, we're going to make this a multi-line comment, and then we'll start out and do instead a while loop. So while, and we'll say x is less than, oops, maybe I should do this. X is less than, oh, hold on, let me do this. The reason why it's giving me a little bit of trouble, it's not a mistake, it wants to auto-fill in, but we haven't really defined x. So let's define x as 5. And then we're going to say x, oh, I'm using my brackets. You don't have to do that in Python, so let's not worry about it. I'm just so used to doing it in other programming languages. X is less than 5. Now, meaning that we're going to count up. In fact, let's start at 1. And so that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So while x is less than 5, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it won't go to 5 in this case. But we'll allow us to enter more stuff. And we can put in this case, instead of name input, well, actually, let's go ahead and do that. We'll just give it a temporary. What is your name, right? Yeah. And then we can take that name and do a dinner tab party dot append, and then put the name at the end. And then after that, we're going to, well, we don't need to tab out anymore, so we'll just do print dinner party, and I didn't put it in parentheses, so let me do that real quick. And just to make sure that everybody we've put in goes in. So let's go ahead and run it. Hopefully it does it. What is your name? And this what is your name should be down here. As we can see, we commented this out, so I think we're safe. So we're going to add a couple more people. Any suggestions?
Isaac and Ellis.
Isaac is Buds, Ellis, and 2 more.
Esther and Albert.
Esther and Albert, which are the parents of Alberto, which is good. So that'd be good that his thing. Oh, I spelled Esther wrong. Sorry, Esther, if you ever see this, I apologize. And then after this, what should happen is that we should finish out the loop. Uh-oh, what happened here? Let's go ahead and put one more person in, and we'll put in Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, because you never know. You never know when you want Batman in here. And it's keep going. Oh, you know what we did wrong
But,
is this is x is less than 5, right?
yeah.
But if you notice, x is always going to be 1. So we are going to, after we're done with this, make sure that we step x up, meaning that we add 1 to x each time. Now let's do it again. And as you notice, I put the x++, which is accepted in many languages, but in our language it does not like this, or in this case Python. So let's change this to the longhand, x is equal to x plus 1. Now let's run it. And we're going to do the same thing. Here comes Isaac. Here comes Ellis. Here comes Esther. And here comes Albert. And now that should finish. And see, there we go. It does not let it hit 5 because we've gone up to 5. And then all of a sudden you can see all the names in the list that we've added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everyone here save this and come back, because the next video is really going to be a continuation of this. We're going to throw dictionaries in there instead of lists, so to kind of help you out in your project coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see you in a sec.